Let's go on to number 5, the website update, Jeff.
Okay, there really isn't a whole lot I can say about the website update. The Community Foundation is utilizing the residuals of the current grant by the end of the year to upgrade the website and have brought in their own in-house person who I've been working with, and we're working together. He has done, we made some selections of some background imagery, preferable background imagery, and he has done an inventory of the site and has taken possession of, he has the credentials to sign in, and I believe has created a mock-up of, he has duplicated the site and begun to make changes, but I haven't seen his work other than the list of assets on the website.
Right.
There's great promise. I'm sure he's really good at what he does, and we will build a better website. We have had 2 meetings and at least 10 email exchanges, but I don't have anything to show to you, with regret.
My understanding is that he's supposed to finish up by the middle of December, but let's wait and see.
Right.
Okay.
And so, the website is important because it does house the North Bay North Coast Broadband Consortium's web presence as well. And so the California Public Utilities Commission has a link to it. So in time, we need to retain it or make some changes, and that will occur, I do believe.
I agree. Let's go ahead to number 6, updates from elected representatives. Jez, do you want to address anything from Huffman's office?
Sure. Hello again. Well, we talked already a bit. There's a lot going on at the federal level, obviously, with internet. There were a couple things as I was preparing. I saw some guidance from my DC team, and also got some pretty helpful links that helped me understand. So I have a feeling that a lot of the work of this committee has led to more knowledge level than I honestly had. I know a lot of topics in regards to working with the federal, but this was one that I really enjoyed as far as a real good introductory explanation for me, at least, was the federal broadband funding and implementation in AAR, IAA and IAIJA and ARP. Hold on, I can't type and talk at the same time, obviously, but I really like this one. So the Congressional Progressive Caucus Center release an explainer, really, that covers what is available, what's being done, and it's sort of like more of a step back and get all these terms defined and get a lot more clarity. So this was really helpful. It's really a guide, and so I dropped that in there. As you know, of course, there's the BEAD program, the Middle Mile, State Digital Equity, lots of stuff going on. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, I did already drop in, was the effort now. As we said, it's one thing to have a program, but it's an entirely different thing to have the folks who can benefit from it actually access it. So that's where the focus now has been. A week ago, releasing these grant funds to the guidance on the grant funds for the equity work that needs to be done. I like to see, it's positive to see a lot of focus on public housing and on informing residents of public housing, looking where the federal government already has influence and already is investing, and going back to back it up with connectivity as an added benefit. So I'm really excited to see that happening. I think you'll find out about that in that link that I gave you, as well as the other 2 earlier. Lots of money, as we know, from the IIJA, but also it's really an expansion of previous efforts. So I think that the fact that the Emergency Broadband Benefit Program is being expanded in this way really shows a lot of hope. But I do think definitely there needs to be increased knowledge about the ACP. I know here, I live on the coast and sort of one of these rural ridges, if you will, up there. And there is no, other service providers besides internet. And I know my service provider has been telling me all about ACP, and they have a whole plan for it. How but it does involve, some barriers. For example, they want you to fax in or, email in proof of your eligibility. That's why you don't get to say you're just eligible, then you have to provide them documentation. And I mean, I know from working with folks here on federal issues that anytime you ask somebody for documentation, it's like just a wall sometimes for folks around here. So that's a real issue. I'm not getting cases from folks, so I haven't really been hearing from folks who are having issues. So I want to put that out there that if people are having issues, there may be some assistance we can provide them in the same way that we provide them assistance with other federal issues, and understanding their resources, and figuring out if there's a problem where you can take those concerns to working with the federal agencies, the FCC, to help people access what's supposed to be available to them is one of the things that we do. So people feel free to contact me, and they have been hearing from specific people with specific concerns about their efforts to access any of these programs, and we'll see what we can do. Besides that, the letters of support, of course, we'd like to keep going out. So if you are seeing resources and you're interested in applying for them, feel free to give me a heads up with the draft letter, and we do get those letters of support out pretty quickly. I have a lot of links and a lot of information, but I think that mostly it's information that's already been talked about recently over these meetings that I've been to. But I'll drop a couple more links as well. And I'm also really happy to see that the maps are out. I know really good points being made here about the layers. And there is, if you drill down to my area up there in the woods, you're going to find out that all we get is the internet, and on a stormy night, that's a problem. So there you go.
Jez, what
Thank you, Jez.
what about Spanish speakers? Is there a way for them to contact you in your office to get help? Because that's in Anderson Valley, that's what I've heard the most is Spanish speakers saying, I can't, it's not working, and I don't know who to turn to for help. And because it's just technical, it's past my Spanish, that's all.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, no, I personally don't speak Spanish, but I do believe that access is really important to our office. And we do have others on our team, and also connections to different interpreter services as well. Also, though, oftentimes people will who are Spanish speaking will work with a family member, a younger family member sometimes to provide that translation. And I know that in social services, that's kind of sensitive, but in working here, these are issues that I think can comfortably be translated as well by family members. So we're getting a lot of that as well. So I'm always happy to try to make sure that we increase access however we can, despite my limited Spanish.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So since Jez brought up the ACP, I'm going to quickly share a spreadsheet that cross-references the providers in Mendocino County with the participating providers of ACP that is highlighted here, and you get an idea of 101 Netlink, AT&T, Comcast, Digital Path, Frontier, Google, Hughes, North Coast Internet, and Sonic, and US Cellular, and Viasat are the only offerings that are participating in the program in Mendocino County as I know it. Just, it's easier to multitask when I'm not the one talking, so I brought that up. I would have brought it up earlier.
Yeah, my provider's on that list of who's accepting it. But as I said, there is a barrier. They ask you about it, they want it, but then you have to provide them documentation.
Right.
Yeah.
Of your eligibility.
Just wanted to show my research. Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you. We don't have representatives from McGuire's office or from Assemblyman Wood's office. And Ted was here, but Ted is gone. Ted, are you? No, he's gone.
Yeah, Ted let me know days in advance that he had conflicting obligations for 45 minutes of the 2 hours. I have texted him to see whether he's able to rejoin us, but he hasn't
Okay.
been able to reply. So
Okay.
I,
Well,
I actually made the promise to him that I would make time for him while he was here